Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Brandon Rose, and welcome to episode 349 of the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. Every Monday, this podcast covers new game releases, the previous week's gaming news, and we all learn an Xbox-related fun fact together. The show is on YouTube and podcast services around the world, so please subscribe on your favorite and leave a review. To start, let's talk game releases. The big game out last week was Code Vein 2, and the games coming out this week include Starson Island, Hidden Cats and Christmas, Tiny Biomes, Deus Ex Remastered, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, Lovish, Menace, Car Cops, Carmageddon Rogue Shift, My Hero Academia All's Justice, Dragon Spyra, and Sora Winds of the Jungle. Now into last week's biggest news stories, and we have 3 to cover this week. Number 1, Xbox hardware revenue has been dropping for 2 years straight. Rebecca Valentine at IGN writes, Xbox has been having a hard time selling consoles lately, and it didn't get any better over the 2025 holiday quarter. Microsoft has just reported its Q2 2026 earnings, including the news that hardware sales were down 32% year over year, after quarter upon quarter upon quarter of hardware declines. Though we don't have any actual numbers to tell how much revenue is being lost out on here, we can get a sense of how grim this is for the hardware by looking at the past quarters. Last quarter, Q1 of 2026, hardware declined 29% year over year. The quarter before that, Q4 of 2025, hardware was down 22%. The quarter before that, down 6%. Before that, down 29%. And before that, 29% in Q1 of 2025, which was July through September of 2024. Going back even further though, Microsoft's earnings report, the prior year's quarters saw declines of 42% in Q4 of 2024 and 31% in Q3. In fact, you have to go all the way back to Q2 2024, which was October through December of 2023, to find the last time Xbox's hardware revenue was better during that period than it was the year before. It was up a whopping 3% over the holiday quarter. And yes, it was down 7% the quarter before that, 13% before that, down 30% before that, down 13% before that, and finally up 13% year over year in Q1 of 2023, or July through September of 2022, at which point the numbers started finally showing consistent improvement year over year, largely due to proximity to the launch of the Series X and S. Now look, it's extremely normal for a 6-year-old console to not be selling as well as it was in the first few years after launch. That's to be expected. Early adopters tend to buy up consoles in large quantities at launch, distributors run out of stock, more is produced, people continue to buy until the vast majority of enthusiasts who want the console already have one, and then sales slow down as the console gets older. But it usually takes a bit longer to get to that point. For comparison's sake, we have evidence that neither the PlayStation 5 nor the Nintendo Switch have had this much trouble on this scale selling systems at this stage in their respective life cycles, and certainly not as far back as less than 3 years after launch. There's maybe a reason why we have hard unit sales numbers of Switches and PS5s from Nintendo and PlayStation, but no official numbers whatsoever from Xbox on their Series S and X. None of this is surprising to anyone who's paying attention. We've been reading headlines about the struggles of the series consoles for the last several years now. In the US, Xbox console sales hit an all-time November low in 2025 after several years in a row of declining hardware sales in what was usually the busiest retail month with Black Friday. Yes, just threw a lot of numbers out there, but we haven't painted the picture like this in quite a long time, and I thought this story did a good job of doing it. It might not be as staggering to read the headline that 32% down year over year when we're looking at the holiday quarter. However, as this story detailed, it's been down double-digit percentages for a very long time, multiple years now. And if you're down 20% this quarter and then the following year down another 30%, think about how many units they are no longer selling from the highs of the Xbox 360 days. As we've kind of said on the show before, it's honestly becoming harder and harder to recommend an Xbox console at this point because of their initiatives with Xbox Play Anywhere and pretty much going full third party. I still love my Xbox console, but how could I recommend it over a gaming PC or even a PS5? Number 2, and more fantastic, sarcasm, news for Xbox. Xbox Series X and S ranked 5th in the list of platforms developers are most interested in. Fraser Gilbert at Pure Xbox writes, this week the organizers behind the GDC Festival Gaming have unveiled their State of the Game Industry Report for 2026, polling over 2,300 game industry professionals on topics including AI, workplace trends, and much more. The bit that's getting attention from an Xbox perspective is a list of platforms that developers are most interested in, with Xbox Series X and S ranking in 5th place with 20% of the vote, behind PC with 80%, PS5 with 40%, Steam Deck with 40%, and Nintendo Switch 2 with 39%. Xbox One was also lower down the list with 9% of the vote. ROG Xbox Ally had 7%, and Xbox Cloud Gaming had 5%. A separate poll shows that 2,300 plus developers who were polled in this, 40% of them actually shipped a product on Series X and S recently, compared to 47% for PS5 and 83% for PC. 23% of them also shipped on Xbox One. Now, there's definitely some caveats to be aware of here. Firstly, as mentioned, we're only looking at a group of just over 2,000 people that make up these results, so they're not necessarily representative of the entire industry. It should also be noted that developers don't make games specifically for the ROG Xbox Ally or Xbox Cloud Gaming. The Ally runs PC games and Cloud Gaming streams console games, so it's no surprise that these developers aren't particularly interested in either of them. In terms of the Series X and S, the results probably do align with the weaker console sales in recent years, but they also suggest that if Microsoft adds Windows to the next Xbox console as rumored, it's going to be fantastic news for both developers and players alike. Think of all the PC exclusives we'll be able to play. Yeah, back-to-back heavy numbers news stories this week in a slower news week. However, sad and interesting to see PC at the very top with 80% and Series X and S at number 5 in terms of consoles at 20% with this specific audience of people that they polled. Yes, pretty much everything seems to be riding on what this next Xbox hybrid PC console is going to be. And number 3, Xbox's new cloud gaming dashboard feels like a sneak peek at the platform's future. Jez Corden at Windows Central writes, rumored for a hot minute, Xbox Cloud Gaming now has a shiny new interface, but it could be hiding an even bigger secret. Revealed by data miners a short while back, Xbox Cloud Gaming has a new preview dashboard you can access via play.xbox.com to help Microsoft test the next phase for the service. Xbox Cloud Gaming shed its beta tag a few weeks back, expanding to new markets and gaining new capabilities with Xbox Game Pass. Now, users on any tier can access Xbox Cloud Gaming with supported games they own, and Xbox Cloud Gaming Ultimate users get access to 1440p streams on top. Microsoft is also gearing up for an ad-supported free tier of Xbox Cloud Gaming, set to launch in the first half of this year according to our sources. The service represents a big effort on Microsoft's part to find new users, in a world where tariffs and RAM shortages have made traditional console gaming less attractive than far cheaper, more accessible alternatives. Games like Roblox and Fortnite have become utterly dominant, partly because they are free, but also because they're ubiquitous. Xbox and other traditional console experiences require a beefy upfront cost. Xbox Cloud Gaming is aiming to eliminate that barrier. Whether or not the strategy works or indeed is even viably economical, wholly remains to be seen, but it won't be for the lack of trying. To that end, Microsoft just debuted its shiny new interface for Xbox Cloud Gaming, and it's rather good. The new interface is very close to a traditional Series X and S console experience, complete with modern Windows 11 fluent design elements. It has icons across the top just like on console, and a library, filters, sorting options, and guide menu. All are impressively familiar for anyone who has used the console experience. Again, another right move by Xbox and Microsoft in investing in cloud, as it does seem to be the wave of the future. And are we really going to play any video games in, say, at this point, 10 to 15 years, on anything but the cloud? How much are they going to charge us for data? That is wait to be seen. And just a quick shout out to the interface, as it does look quite nice. As always, we end our show with a fun fact about Xbox. And while IGN recently did a top 100 best Xbox games of all time, and I thought we could do the top 20. And just to set the record, this was how they determined this list. When we say the best Xbox games, we mean the ones that evoke the weighty sense of Xboxness. Some are first party, most are exclusives, and all of them are indelibly tied to the legacy of and fondness for a platform that's left a massive mark on gaming. So if we go to the top 20, number 20, Halo Reach, 19, Mass Effect, 18, Fez, 17, Gears of War 2, 16, Red Dead Redemption, 15, Ninja Gaiden Black, 14, Fable 2, 13, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, 12, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, 11, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, 10, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, 9, Halo Combat Evolved, 8, Forza Horizon 5, 7, Inside, 6, Bioshock, 5, Halo 2, 4, Gears of War 3, 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, 2, Mass Effect 2, and number 1, Halo 3. Could there really be any other game than Halo 3? Just an absolute 10 out of 10, followed by number 2, Mass Effect 2, another easy 10 out of 10 and one of my top 3 favorite games of all time. And I also obviously have to shout out Call of Duty Modern Warfare, sneaking in at number 11, just a generationally changing game for online multiplayer. Last shout out, Star Wars KOTOR number 10. Love that game. Thank you all for listening to the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. If you like the show, please subscribe on your favorite podcast service, share with your friends, leave a review if you like the show, and follow on all social media at Xbox in 10. This past week, it's been a busy week, so Marvel Snap as always with a little bit more Pokemon Classic on the phone. My name is Brandon Rosie. You can follow me on Xbox at Rosie93. Hope you all have a great week, stay safe, and keep on gaming.